Hey, welcome back to McLovin Garage. On today's episode, I want to walk you through the progress I've made on my projects this summer. We're going to talk a little bit about the 1965 Suburban that's over my shoulder here, the 1965 Plymouth Fury 3 Wagon, and then my 1970 Dodge Coronet, which is in the shop over here because it's not currently running. So I want to walk you through some of the updates, some of the things I did with them, and see what you think. Please comment below as I walk through what you like, what you don't, and if you have any suggestions for what I can do to them in the future. But let's walk around these machines and check out the progress that I made. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it very much. If you wouldn't mind, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. That's helping the channel grow. I'd love to get to 5,000 subscribers here in the next few months. So if anybody's inclined, give me a follow. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. All right, first we're going to start on the Suburban. I apologize in advance for the wind noise. You just have to bear with me. We got a nice breeze rolling through here in Oregon. This is being shot right at the beginning of October 2023, and these are the updates on these projects. Let's start with the Suburban. First thing you'll notice, a bunch of paint work was done. I will put a picture of what it looked like when I first got it in here, so you can see the difference. But let's walk around it for a minute. It's back to two-tone. When I got it, it was like 5 or 6 colors: rust, gray primer, black fenders. It had a gray grill. If you haven't, go watch my 3-part series about when I picked this up down in California. My buddy Kyle and I flew to California and road tripped this home. It was an absolutely epic trip. But yeah, this summer I had some body work done. These fenders are new, these front fenders, the front on both sides. It had rust down in here, down in here. This has all been fixed and repaired. The inner fenders, or I'm sorry, the inner rockers were painted. You can see how that's been fixed and touched up. This whole side had a bunch of rust in it. I'll throw some photos of that up. It had a bunch of rust and spots that needed to be repaired. And then this whole side was painted from the green down. We painted, my buddy Kevin painted this whole side. You can see the hood's a different color still, so that's going to need to be worked on. I'm doing it in stages because, guys, I have 2 kids and a wife, and I'm the only one that works outside the home. My wife homeschools our kids and takes care of them, and so I'm on a budget. So this was some budget work that I had done. Thanks to my buddy Kevin. This fender had also been black. The rocker panel had been black because it had been fixed. The floor was fixed prior to me getting it. You can see all this has been painted. You can see before I got it, they fixed the floor. You can see where it was welded here, and then this new rocker was put in. Really well done. But yeah, this whole floor, a lot of this floor has been replaced and fixed. So we just painted back to the door. You can see it just blended slightly past the door if you look real close right in here. So this whole side has not been painted. I had the McLovin Garage logos made and perforated and put on the back. Thank you to Ryan and Crystal at Custom to You. There's a video of that too if you want to go back and check it out. I'll be going up there and getting those put on. Those are pretty neat. But yeah, so this whole side got painted the green, and it got wrapped into about here. The rest of this is the color that was on it before I got it. I did repaint the rear bumper and get it put back on. You can see I've still got some body work to do on this corner. The wheels, and then I had the whole car, or the whole truck, polished. my local detail shop, polished it out, got rid of a bunch of the oxidation that had been on it. It looks a lot better. So there's the rear. I believe I did a video showing, I bought these. These are the factory style, or they are factory lift arms. Those are super hard to find. They don't reproduce those. Found a set out of Arizona, put them on so that I could keep this back hatch lifted. I do have all 3 seats for this machine. I took the short one out because I wanted some extra load space, and when I first got it, it had a short half seat in the front, and then this big seat was in the very back here. It bolts down. You can see the notch. Those are the notches where the back seat would bolt, so you can have seating all the way back. I took the little short seat out and I moved the big seat forward. I do have 3 seat belts on this back one. I did make a video of that, so I've got all three seat belts across there. Shut this. Come over here to this side. Haven't done much in the interior. I did change a couple seat belts. I had one break, so I think I'm going to go to these tan because they match a little better with the blue seats. I mean, black would look fine too, but it's got a tan dash, and the door panels are kind of a tannish color. So as seat belts break or as I replace them, I'm gonna move to this tan. I think is my plan. Then in the back seat, oh, there's some junk there. I went to one tan one, and then the other ones are the black ones that were in it before I got it. Let me move some of this stuff here. So yeah, I got the back seat in it. Got these aftermarket front seats. These are out of I think late 80s, early 90s Suburban K5 Blazer. I actually like them. They're comfortable. I like having the center console for drinks and my cell phone and whatever else. But haven't done much in here really at all. Just kind of tidying up, try to keep it clean, and that's pretty much it there. The engine's the same as it's been since I got it. I haven't really done anything. It does have power disc brakes. I take that back. I did put a new carburetor on it. It's got an Edelbrock 1406. I've had no trouble with that right out of the box. Ran and drove great. I haven't touched it. Electric choke works. It does have an aluminum radiator. The truck seems to stay cool. I've never had any overheating problems. It's just been a good running, solid truck. So very, very pleased with how it runs and drives, and really haven't done anything under there. The other thing I had done last year was I had a new transmission put in it. So when I brought it home, and you see that in my series, when I brought it home, I blew up the transmission that was in it. It had a really weak 700 R4, and so I had a new one built and installed, and I haven't had a lick of trouble with that as well. It's so nice having 4 speeds and an overdrive. It does have a lockup torque converter. I've got a switch on the dash where I can lock up the torque converter, and that way it's locked up in high. It drops the RPMs, I don't know, another 300 to 500 RPMs, and just cruises down the highway 65, 70, no trouble. So from here, my next goal is to continue to do some paint and body work. I showed you that ding on the rear fender. I want to get those fixed. I want to have that whole side painted and the back painted. Also the hood and the front valance, I believe is how you would say it. The front valance, I want to have that painted green. And then we need to get up into the top. I'll show you this. It's had some preventative work done, but the top is going to need to get a little bit more love. And then I would love to repaint all the white. So paint, and then the other thing I'd like to do is carpet. It was some sound deadener, really quiet down the interior. And then after that, I'd love to have the seats reupholstered, so that everything matches, probably in like a tan and white like the back seat, but maybe in a more modern material, just so that it all matches and looks nice and clean. So that's kind of that's the update on the Suburban. It's coming along. Got a lot of work done with the the transmission and some of the paint and body work. Fixed a lot of rust, and really I just at this point just drive it. I try to drive it at least once a week, and enjoy it. I drove it today, and but just enjoy it the way it is and just keep working on it a little bit at a time. Let's pause and let's go look at the Plymouth Fury.
Hey guys, it's me, McNugget number 1. I just want some feedback on how well I did at filming. So if you could put that down in the comments down below, that'd be great.
Good job, buddy. All right, we're over here at the Fury, 1965. It's got a 318 and an automatic. If you haven't, go check out the video go check out the video of me bringing it home. A couple things I've done. I found these really awesome Plymouth Division hubcaps. It's got Mopar police wheels on it. When I bought it, it had a set of Dodge caps, which are cool. They're the red line Dodge caps, but those aren't proper for this car, being a Plymouth. So my buddy Donovan from Burnout and Brake Stuff, if you haven't seen his channel, go check that out. I'll link it here. He had a set of these Plymouth Division caps that he sold me, and so I popped the Dodge ones off and put on the Plymouth Division. A few things I've done to this rig. I fixed the tail lights. I had tail lights that weren't working. The blinkers weren't working. I figured out it was just the blinker module. So I put a new blinker module in it. So now it's got all of its tail lights, turn signals, brake lights. So all the lighting works front and rear. It had a marker light out in the front. Fixed that as well. I did add, a little swag. The Plymouth stickers were already on there, but got a little Puddin's Fab Shop, David Fryburger, and Roadkill, Gasoline Forever, and I Flock to beaters. I love the old patina beaters. What else did I do? Oh, yeah, check this out. Seat belts in the rear. It didn't have, get you in there so you're out of the sun. It didn't have any seat belts in it. I found these online and put rear seat belts in it so my kids would be safe. And it did have front seat belts, but they were tucked up inside the seat. I'm the second owner of this car, so I'm pretty confident that maybe the first owner never used them from 1965. They were tucked back under here, and so they were rolled up and tucked in there, so I had to dig them out. They're kind of dirty. It'd be nice to probably wash them, but it does have seat belts front and rear now, which is nice. I can't believe just that the dash is so clean in this. Steering wheel. Let's see, what else did I do? Oh, I had an issue with the carburetor. It loaded up on me. Actually, I think it just pushed past the needle and seat and died. And so I changed carbs. Wasn't happy with the carburetor that I put on it, so I went back to the original one after I pulled it apart and cleaned it. I did put this air cleaner on it when I bought it. It was off of another project that I had sitting around. You can see it says 210 horse. I'd be surprised if it's making that kind of horsepower at all. Owner before me had done new brakes. Oh, I did put a new battery in it. That was the one that was in it was like an old tractor battery. And I did put a battery disconnect on it because I was having trouble if it sat for too long, not wanting to start. So there's a draw somewhere that I haven't found. I think the biggest part of the draw is the rear tail lights. If you push the pedal down and hold it, it doesn't always come back where it'll kick off the brake lights, and so the brake lights will stay on until the battery dies. But yeah, that's what I've done so far to this one, is the new Plymouth caps, seat belts, fixed lights, just kind of made it more drivable. It is registered in my name. I am the second owner. Love this V8 logo, by the way. That thing is sweet. I do have new tags for it, but this rig was bought new here in Oregon, in Salem actually, which isn't far from my home. It still has the 73 tags on it from the last time it was registered, and I didn't really want to take those off, so I've got the new ones in the glove box. I haven't been stopped by the police yet, so I'm just going to let it ride. Things I would like to continue to do on it, I want to get the Plymouth Fury logo back on the grill. You can see it doesn't have, oops, I'm in the way. You can see it doesn't have the Fury logo in the middle. Looks like that got broken off or fell off at one point. I'd like to just continue to do some more drivability stuff. I think I would really like to put a 4-barrel intake and carb on it. The 2-barrel's been a little bit finicky, and I think it would just probably run better with a 4-barrel intake and carb, so that might be on the list. The other thing that might happen is it might get sold. So I want to get into some autocross racing. I'd love to find a smaller Plymouth, like maybe back to a Duster or I really like a 68 Valiant would be what I would love to have. I've looked at some Camaros and like Pontiac Firebirds, probably in the 70s vintage, 70s to 80s. This isn't really going to ever be an autocross car. It's too big and heavy, and I don't really want to use it for that. So it could be for sale. So if somebody's interested, if you come across this video and you're interested in the Fury, again, this is October of 2023, might be interested in selling it for the right money. It runs and drives great the way it is. I'll just keep improving it until I do decide to sell it. But yeah, pretty neat, but I think it might be going away so I can focus on some other ideas. So there's the Fury. If you have any questions or comments about that one, let me know, and I'd be happy to answer them. But these are two that are still in the fleet, and let's go over and take a look at the Dodge Coronet. Are you gonna go with me, or are you gonna stay? All right, here's the state of the Coronet. Let me get some lights on in here for you. All right, as you can see, new intake manifold, valve covers are painted, new parts for the linkages, new pulleys. I feel bad about this car sitting for so long, but it's taken a little bit to get the parts together. Here's where we're at. Let's plug this in because I forgot. So I took a bunch of the AC parts out. You can see they're cut off back there. And all the AC parts have been removed. Took the condenser out. It's over here against the wall. So my plan is I had an intake manifold leak. I had an intake manifold vacuum leak. So what I plan to do is take all the AC parts off, put a 4-barrel intake, aluminum 4-barrel intake, an Edelbrock, which you saw in the back of the car, a 4-barrel carburetor from Edelbrock as well. And I took off all the AC parts. That's saving a bunch of weight. I don't plan to use the AC. It's going to give the motor back some horsepower, not spinning that big compressor. And I'm going to put it all back together. So my goal is to get it done this week. I'm pretty sure I've got all the parts that I need to put it back together. There's a Coffee and Cars on Saturday. So the plan is to have it together and ready for Coffee and Cars on Saturday. Today is Sunday. So I've got almost a full week to get that done. But you can see there's the old intake manifold. 2-barrel cast iron. We're going to go to the 4-barrel Edelbrock. It's been a lot of work. I mean, there's just a lot to it. New pulleys, new brackets. That's an AC bracket there. I do have an extra 318. I've got a 440 sitting here. My benches are a mess. The whole thing is just a lot going on. So I do have the lower pulley on. You can see that down right here. New lower pulley. I've got an upper pulley for it. Here's the new bracket for the alternator. Just going through and replacing all that so that I can put it back together. So, and then as far as my other projects, these are the 3 that I've got right now. So if you've seen videos, no, there's a hair on the lens here. If you've watched my other videos, you've seen me work on a 68 Plymouth Fury sedan. That's sold. I had a 73 Duster, a yellow one. Actually, I'm sorry, that was a 75. It's sold and gone. My 73 Dodge Dart, the white one with the black top, that one's gone. The green Plymouth Scamp, which you've seen in previous videos, that car's gone. So right now I've got the Fury Wagon, the Suburban, and then this Coronet. So those are the 3 that I'm actively working on. Like I said, I think the Fury Wagon is going to go up for sale. So if you know anybody looking for a Fury Wagon, hit me up. That's a great car. It's drivable. I drove it 80 miles home. I drive it all over the place locally in my hometown, and then the neighboring towns really have no trouble with it. The engine's a little bit tired. It's got some smoke on startup, and then cruising around, like if you sit and idle, you'll get some smoke coming out of it. So it's tired, but it runs fine. And yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to keep working on this. Hopefully this week get it back on the road. I am looking for an autocross car. I'm looking for like a 68 to 70-ish Plymouth Valiant, 67 maybe, 2-door. I'd really like a sedan with the or a post car, a 2-door post. And might consider a Camaro or a Firebird, but for now, those are I really like to stick with something Dodge. That's my next thing I want to get into is a little bit of autocross. Excuse me. Is a little bit of autocross racing. I think that would be a lot of fun. The Coronet's running again. I know in my last, earlier on in this update video, I had a bunch of it torn apart, and the intake was off, and the valve covers were off, and pulleys and everything were off. It is now back together and running fantastically. That AVS2 carb from Edelbrock is ridiculously good. Right out of the box, I haven't even messed with it at all. And found all the pulleys, got all the parts together, painted the upper half of the engine there, got rid of the air conditioning parts and pieces. I still got them. I took them off the car, and wow, what a difference a 4-barrel intake and carb makes in this car. It's really fantastic. Super stoked to have it back on the road. It's a driver again. Brakes feel good. Transmission feels good. Just really awesome to have it back on the road. Let me show you a few things now that I turned it off, and I'll show you a few cool things that we did to that I had to modify and make better in order to make this work. So check this out. So in putting this on here, one of the things I had to accomplish was this kickdown linkage was too short, and so my buddy Donovan at Burnout and Brake Stuff, check out his YouTube channel, lengthened this by about 1 inch for me. And then he put this tab on here so that I would have a spring to pull this back tight. And so he did that, did a really nice job on it. I still need to paint it. I put it on here just to make it work and make sure that it worked. But that was one of the things I had to do, was modify. That's actually a kickdown linkage off of a 383 car. It was off of my Chrysler Newport when I put that car together. And the cool thing about it was it had the right kick right here. You can see it's got a little bit of an angle, how it comes out and around to meet this spot here. And so we just modified it. He modified it and did a really nice job, and it works great for the kick down. This is a Edelbrock Performer intake, dual plane. And I've heard a lot of really good things about these AVS2 carbs. If you haven't looked at those, look that up. Apparently it's got annular boosters inside where it atomizes the fuel better, sprays kind of a fine mist instead of just dribbling fuel down into the carb. But it really seems to work well off idle, and gives it just a little bit of extra. There's not really any stumble right off idle, which is super nice. Hooked up the electric choke, and had to put new, since I tore all the stuff off for the AC unit, I had to get new pulleys, so I went to a standard non-AC pulleys, top and bottom. Those were kind of fun to find. Thank you again, Donovan, for helping me with a couple of those. He actually had also the proper spacers here for my alternator to make that work right. Everything works, guys. It's good to go, and very pleased with how it turned out. It runs really well. It runs strong, and man, after all summer it sat in the garage, and now that the weather's crappy here in Oregon, it's back up and running, but way better. So just wanted to show you guys that update. It is back on the road, and it's running great. So one of the cool things that I'm going to do this in December, middle of December, down in California, they're doing Power Tour West. There's a Power Tour back east, the standard Power Tour, every year. It's a long ways away from home. There's no way I could make it out there unless I really did put a bunch of money together and all sorts of things. But they're coming to the West Coast. They're coming to Southern California. So in December, I'm going to trailer this down with that new Ram that I just bought, which you guys maybe have seen on Instagram. If you're not following me there, McLovin Garage on Instagram, McLovin Garage on Facebook. I post a lot of pictures there of things going on and projects that are happening. But anyway, I'm going to take this down to Power Tour West with my buddy Derek. He's going to take his 65 Monaco, and we are going to go check out Power Tour West. It starts in California, goes over to Vegas, and then back to California. It's a 3-day event. I'm going to trailer down, drive this for 3 days. It's like 250 miles-ish a day. And we're going to experience Power Tour on the West Coast. So looking forward to that. If anybody ends up making it out there, come say hi. I will be there, hopefully, if everything goes well and financially can get some more cash together. But that's the plan. This is, again, the update on My vehicles currently in the stable, I've got the 65 Fury Wagon, I've got the 70 Coronet back up and running, and then I've got the 65 Suburban that is up and running and working well. But yeah, exciting things. I know I haven't posted much. Hopefully that'll get better. I've got weekends off now for the next 4 months, so hopefully I can make some more content. Oh, the next project that you're gonna see, let's come over here. You might be able to see it down there. 1976 or 78, man, I'm spacing on it. 76 or 78 GMC pickup. This is my buddy Kyle's truck. I actually bought this truck off the side of the road for like 300 bucks. The guy thought it had a head gasket problem. Oh, there's a frog. Thought it had a head gasket problem, but it did not. Put new wheels and tires on it, went through it. My buddy actually put it, well, I went through it. Hi guys, how we doing? Hi Bo, hi Copper. Hi guys, hello mister. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Hey, I hear ya. I hear ya. Good dog. But anyway, back to this truck. I brought it home, pressure washed it. It was gross. Put new wheels and tires on it. Be quiet. Put fuel, fix the fuel switcher so it had both. This truck is so cool because it's a factory tachometer truck. But I sold it to my buddy Kyle. He actually put a new engine in it. He used it with a camper, drove it to California and back several times. He really loves this truck. He was gonna swap it to fuel injection, but we've decided to keep the carburetor. So I'm gonna put it back together for him. It needs a new intake, needs the carb, the rebuilt carb put back on it, and I'm gonna get it running for him. So that's the next project you'll see in the shop. I'm hoping to film some of that. Needs you could see the fuel pump laying there. Need to put the fuel pump back in it, the mechanical one, and new intake, new carb. Get it tuned up for him and get it back to him. Oh, the other thing I've got for him, I gave him this canopy. It came off my white Dodge Ram there that I just picked up. You probably saw it if you saw the Instagram. But I also have a hitch for him. That was on my Suburban. I didn't like it. It was too low. It actually was designed for this truck, one of these square bodies. And so I'm gonna try to mount that. Stay down. Stay. There we go. I'm gonna try to mount that for him. Be quiet, please. I'm trying to film. Quiet. Quiet, you. My dog, sorry. I'm gonna try to fix that for him and get it back to him so I can get it out of the side of my house here. The side yard, it's been here for too long. And that'll clear up some more space for other projects. So that's what I got going on right now. Just wanted to show you the Coronet too. Now that it's back up and running, it fit in with this video. So I wanted to make sure I got you some video of that. Oh, that Suburban's cool. And then, but yeah, the Coronet is so sweet. It runs really well. I'm not sure. Next, I think, is going to be interior on it. The driver's seat's pretty ratty, and so it needs some upholstery. That would really be a nice touch. Kind of get the interior spruced up. It's got some dings and dents and some rust. Eventually, maybe that'll get worked on. But man, I just like the car the way it is. It's just a Survivor. Hasn't V5 blue. Just really is pretty neat. And now that the little 318 runs so well, I'm just gonna enjoy it. I don't need to have a Hemi car. I mean, it'd be fun to have a Hemi car, but I don't need to pay for one. And the 318 in this car runs so good that it's just nice the way it is. So anyway, thank you for watching. Appreciate you being here. And if you wouldn't mind, like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. I'd really like to grow a little bit this next year. I'm going to put some more time and effort into my channel and hopefully continue to grow just a little bit. So appreciate it. Once again, my name's Ryan, and this is McLovin Garage, and I'll see you next time.